Coyotes on an island? Seriously? What's up, you guys? It's your old buddy Jason here. So, picture this. You're on a ferry, cruising across the San Francisco Bay. The Golden Gate Bridge is in the background, looking very majestic. You're heading to Angel Island State Park, just a short 30-minute ferry ride from San Francisco. You're expecting old army buildings, maybe some deer, maybe some great views. But then, you overhear the ferry boat captain telling someone about coyotes. And you're like, wait, what? Coyotes? On an island? How did they even get here? Did they buy a ferry ticket? Did they swim? It sounds like the start of a weird joke, but I promise you, it's totally real. This whole mystery just completely hooked me. This isn't just any island. Between 1910 and 1940, Angel Island was famous for processing almost 1 million mostly Asian immigrants for citizenship, earning it the nickname Ellis Island of the West. It turns out, the story of the Angel Island Coyotes is a detective story, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. We'll look at the facts, the theories, and what it's like for these animals living surrounded by water. These coyotes are different. Why come here instead of staying on land? Lots of questions. So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's dive into the world of the Angel Island Coyotes. So, what's the game plan? In this deep dive, we're going to cover everything you could possibly want to know about these island-dwelling canines. First up, we'll tackle the biggest question of all. How in the world did they get to Angel Island? Did they actually swim across the chilly, choppy waters of the bay? Or catch a ride on some floating debris? Next, we're going to get into their daily lives. What does a coyote on an island even eat for breakfast? Is it a fancy seafood diet of crabs? Or are they sticking to the classics like mice? We will be exploring where they live on the island. Then, we'll get into how the media treated the story. You bet this story has made the news. This also means we have to talk about safety, because, let's be real, they're wild animals. And finally, for the grand finale, we're going to plan a trip. We'll cover everything including the flight to the closest airport, the hotel for a couple of nights. I'll add it all up so you can get a real idea of what it would take to launch your own coyote spotting expedition. All right, let's get right into it. How did the coyotes get here? The most popular theory is that they swam. I know, it sounds insane. The water in the San Francisco Bay is cold, 51 to 55 degrees, and the rip currents are no joke. The closest point is the Tiburon Peninsula about half a mile away. That's like swimming 8 football fields in frigid, salty water with boats all over. Wildlife biologists actually think this is the most likely scenario. Coyotes are surprisingly strong swimmers. It's about survival and opportunity. The mainland can get pretty crowded. Competition for food, territory disputes with other coyotes, constant danger from cars and people. An island might look like paradise. From the shore, Angel Island probably smelled like a 5-star buffet. So, if they swam, when did they do it? Before about 2014, there were basically 0 credible coyote sightings. September 2015, the story starts to change. A ranger found mysterious tracks in mud. At first, people were skeptical. Then came camera trapping. In late 2015 and into 2016, cameras finally caught the culprit. This was the smoking gun the rumors were true. Researchers found not just one coyote, but a pair. Then the ultimate confirmation, a den with pups. They were settling down, raising families, establishing Angel Island as their new home. But what made Angel Island such a great place for them to stay? Angel Island is about 740 acres, which is just over 1 square mile. The island is isolated, surrounded by that big natural moat of the San Francisco Bay. More importantly, the island was already home to a massive population of black-tailed deer. For the first coyotes that arrived, this was like walking into an all-you-can-eat buffet. The old, abandoned military buildings, also provide perfect, ready-made dens. Their number one menu item at first, black-tailed deer, voles, and mice. Being on an island adds unique menu items. They've been seen scavenging along the shoreline. Crabs, mussels, and then there's the human factor. Coyotes raid trash cans. In the spring, deer fawns become the primary food source. Summer is peak season for berries and island fruits, and coyotes love berries and island fruits. When fall arrives, hunting rodents becomes easier because of them out looking for food and bedding materials. Winter on Angel Island is mild. Coyotes must be resourceful. The network of trails on the island also serve as coyote highways. The basic social unit is the pack, which is usually just a mother, father, and pups. Raising pups is a full-time job for the coyote parents. It's like a little coyote training academy. You know a story is good when it makes the evening news, and the Angel Island Coyotes definitely got their 15 minutes of fame. News crews took the ferry over, interviewing park rangers and tourists. A quick search on YouTube for Angel Island Coyotes will bring up a ton of clips from KTVU, KPIX, and ABC 7 News Bay Area. Most of the time when a coyote is spotted, they run away. The coyotes on the island are generally pretty shy and wary of people. However, there have been some closer encounters. As the coyotes have become more accustomed to seeing people, they've gotten a little bolder. The real problems start when food gets involved. This could be from someone intentionally feeding them, a huge no-no. The number one, most important rule is to never, ever feed a coyote. The second big rule is to keep your distance. If a coyote starts to approach you, make yourself look bigger and make loud noises. Say something like, "Go away, coyote," a bit more aggressive than that. When you're done, you have to pack out everything you brought in. Angel Island has a leave no trace policy. Also, if you have a pet, they are not allowed on the island. So, after all this talk, are you ready to plan your own trip? Let's break down what a 2-day adventure to Angel Island might cost. A round-trip flight from LAX to SFO can run you anywhere from $150 to $300. Renting a car, around $100 to $150. A hotel, about $200 to $400 per night. For a 2-day trip, a reasonable food budget would be about $100 a person per day. So, let's add it all up. For one person, we're looking at roughly $225 for the flight, $150 for a rental car, $600 for the hotel, $30 for the ferry, and $150 for food. That brings the grand total to around $1,155 for a solo 2-day trip. It's not a super cheap weekend, but for a chance to hike a beautiful, historic island. And maybe, just maybe, catch a glimpse of a legendary swimming coyote, I'd say it's totally worth starting to save up for. So there you have it, the complete, totally wild story of the Angel Island Coyotes. The coyotes of Angel Island remind us that wildlife is all around us. I hope this story was interesting for everyone. Stay curious. I'm your tour guide, Jason, and I'll catch you on the next adventure, and remember, it's always time to travel.